Perfect. Welcome, everybody, to Ovarian Cancer Canada's speaker series this month, Building Community and Fueling Change, Ovarian Cancer Canada's Walk of Hope 2024. My name is Stephanie Goslin, and I'm the Programs Director here at Ovarian Cancer Canada. Happy to be here today to act as the host for this great session coming up today. So people joining us today live and work across Turtle Island on the lands that we now collectively call Canada. We recognize and respect that these are the traditional lands of many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis communities. I personally live, work, and play in Shelburne, Saskatchewan, which is on Treaty 6 territory and is the homeland of the Métis Nation. As an organization, Ovarian Cancer Canada commits to doing all we can to encourage the culturally safe care of all of those affected by ovarian cancer and to use our unique position as a health charity to respond to the calls of action as outlined in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. So it is my pleasure today. We have some excellent speakers here today who are going to share some of their experiences with the walk, some fundraising tips. Joining us today, we have Hosna, Maddie, Aaron, Jim, Olivia, Heidi, and Elizabeth. And they're going to share a little bit about themselves as they come on to share today. And to start us off, I would like to invite Hosna and Maddie to just tell us a little bit about the Walk of Hope and how it started and how you can participate this year.
Thank you everyone for joining us. As mentioned, the session is created to help run through some exciting Walk of Hope updates and support your questions as well. So we're going to move on to the agenda. Awesome. So here's a quick overview of what we will discuss. So you'll have the chance to meet our team, learn more about the Walk of Hope. I'm sure most of you attending today's session already are familiar with the walk, but for those who would like a refresher, we will also go over a little bit about the Walk of Hope here, as well as ways to participate, creating communities and ways to get involved. So learn from our amazing panel on tips and tricks for fundraising, why they walk, and what walk means to them. And then we will also go over what's back and what's new. So all those exciting walk updates will we will share here. So in terms of just what's back, but also some exciting new updates to look forward to, fundraising ideas, and then we will also take some time to go over how to navigate the Walk of Hope website and register for this year's campaign. And then we'll finish off with a Q&A, opening the floor to help answer any of your questions. So moving on to the next slide, we thought it'd be great to just start with a quick intro to our team. So today, Maddie and I will be presenting, but we do have a few additional National Walk of Hope members and our volunteer committee who works alongside us to help bring the event to life. I will start by introducing myself and then I'll pass it down to Maddie. Hi, everyone. My name is Hasna. I'm the Community Engagements and Events Coordinator at Ovarian Cancer Canada. I joined OCC last July and hit my 1 year recently. So much of what I do is focus on walk, is customer service, but also lead our amazing and dedicated volunteer committee who help support our planning for our local communities. Maddie, did you want to take over and share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Hosna. So I am another one of the community engagement and event coordinators here at OCC. I started in January, and I'm just really excited to get to see my first Walk of Hope in action. So I'm excited to share some exciting updates with you all today, and I'm going to pass it back to Hosna to go through what is the Walk of Hope.
Awesome. Thank you, Maddie. So moving on to a little bit about the Walk of Hope background and its history. So the Walk of Hope was founded in 2002 by Peggy Trescott, a dedicated volunteer and Teal sister living with ovarian cancer. Her greatest wish was to create a space where women living with ovarian cancer could gather, feel empowered, and connect with others who understood their experience. Today, the Walk of Hope is the largest and most powerful event of its kind in Canada, honoring Peggy's legacy and those impacted by the disease. It is the only walk in Canada to direct all attention and fundraising towards supporting those affected by or at risk of the disease to live their lives freely, fully, and uninhibited by ovarian cancer. Onto the side, you'll see how the walk has gone over the years. But as a quick overview of how the event works is each year we have around 3,500 participants, 10,000 donors, and last year we raised a total of $1.4 million. And we will also recognize as the top 30 peer-to-peer event by Peer-to-Peer Professional Forum Awards. And Peer-to-Peer Professional Forums Award is an international organization that collects data on fundraising events, looking at the top events of in that specific year, and then bases them off on Renoview. And so they hosted a great conference, and we were excited that the 2023 Walk of Hope made it to that list. This is all thanks to you, and Ovarian Cancer Canada is so grateful to have you all joining us and bringing this impactful event to life and helping raise vital awareness for ovarian cancer outcomes. And then we also do have around a few different locations for the Walk of Hope. So as I mentioned, it's across Canada. So I'll share more on this soon, but you'll see that we have quite a few different locations. This year we have around 25 locations, 25 plus locations, and they range anywhere from in person to virtual. So really giving you that flexibility to choose a location that's closest to you. And then taking place in most communities, this year the event will be hosted on September 8, 2024. Now I'll pass it down to Maddie, and she'll share more on ways to participate.
Great, thanks, Hasna. So I'm going to go into the ways to participate. There are many great ways to get involved in the Walk of Hope. So to do so, you can register yourself as an individual walker. You can start your own team or join the team of another, such as your friend, a family member, or your business. You can volunteer to support a walk, so that can be whether it's in the planning side or the day-to-day support side. Just reach out to OCC if you're interested in volunteering, and we'll connect you to the appropriate location. If there isn't an in-person walk already in your area, you can even decide to start your own walk by, again, reaching out to OCC to get this started. We are truly always looking to expand the walk, so we love when people want to take this on in their region. So give us a shout if that's something you're interested in doing. And lastly, if there isn't a walk in your area, or if you just want to walk around your own neighborhood, you can register as a virtual participant and walk the way that you want to walk. So as you can see, there are many ways to get involved, and the ways are truly endless. But I'll pass it back to Stephanie for now, who will introduce you to some of our amazing speakers.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys, for sharing. I love hearing the story of the history of walk, how one woman had a vision to create community and really empower all of those living across the country with ovarian cancer to come together. So thanks for sharing that. Also, just wanted to share a unique way that my team participates. My team, I walk in Saskatoon, and I have a team called the Teal Blues. We've had a team for 16 years now. And my team during COVID walked in our home community and has since kept up that walk. And kind of unique, we get about 40 or 50 people walking through the community. And it's also a great way to raise awareness because people pull over and ask what we're walking for and what we're doing. We've even accepted a couple donations through the window of a vehicle on our walk. So again, just another unique way to participate. So now I would like to introduce you to some of our great speakers for today. They are going to be sharing their experiences and why they're involved with the Walk of Hope. So Erin, I am going to start with you. So if you want to just turn on your camera.
Hey, Stephanie.
So Erin, tell us a little bit about why the walk is so important to you and why ultimately you chose to become involved with the Walk of Hope Committee in Calgary.
Sure. Thanks, Stephanie. Couple of reasons. My mother lost her battle to ovarian cancer when I was a young child. So obviously that disease was close to me. And then 12 years ago, I myself was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And thankfully, I've fully recovered. And then so a couple of years after that, I was looking for some way to support the community, get involved. And I found that there was this great walk in Calgary and join the organizing committee.
Awesome. That's great. How long have you been on the committee? You said about
I knew
10
you were
years?
going to ask me that, and I'm trying to remember how many years. So I think it's about 10 years that I've been involved with the committee in various roles. In the last few years, I've been honored to be the co-chair here in Calgary and helping the team organize our annual event.
That's awesome, Erin. What has been a highlight for you during your involvement with the Walk of Hope? You've obviously walked in a lot of different walks. Any highlights you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, there's a few things. Being on the organizing committee, and especially once I started chairing it, it's always stressful going in the few days before. You want to make sure it's been successful, and luckily we've had no huge hiccups. But it's just so inspirational to see the people there. I especially love seeing the families and the young children. I just think it's great when you see these young kids getting involved in the day and understanding, and they're there honoring grandmas and aunts and cousins, and it's fabulous to see. In Calgary, we have this huge group of young women. They're a ringette team, and they come out every year. Sometimes we get upwards of 100 of them, and it's just fantastic to see them in their pink t-shirts. They have matching t-shirts they made in honor of a former ringette player of theirs. So it's just phenomenal to see that, and just the joy on people's faces that they're there honoring people that they loved.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. I actually think we have a couple members of that team that walk in Saskatoon as well, from the Ringette team. So we had a few pink t-shirts on that team last year. So again, that's another really unique thing. You might have your base team in Calgary, but if you have friends and family across the country, they can walk wherever they are. So,
Yeah, and I've actually heard that from participants that they've been involved because they're honoring somebody from another city, and that they've joined up in Calgary and they wanted to be part of the event. So it's fantastic to see. The word spreads, and it's great that across the country we can all kind of walk together.
Yeah, and truly just building that community. And it sounds like you've got a great community built in Calgary.
Yeah,
Thanks, Erin.
there's always room for more. So spread the
So
word.
if you're in Calgary, join Erin on her walk.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect. Thanks, Erin, for sharing that with us. Jim, I'm going to ask if you don't mind now to turn on your camera.
Yeah, hi, Stephanie. Thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot. This is fantastic to be part of this.
Thanks for joining us. I know you have an appointment you got to get to, so we put you early in the agenda. You have a super unique connection to the Walk of Hope. Jim, I don't know if everybody on the call knows, but Jim is an ovarian cancer researcher. He has a lab in Guelph. And Jim, tell us about how you became involved with the walk. It's one thing to be in ovarian cancer research, but now you're super involved in the Walk of Hope.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've been doing ovarian cancer research for 25 years now, and took my lab to a couple different walks before, and always thought it'd be fantastic to start a walk here in Guelph, but seemed like a bit of a daunting task to take on. And then I give talks at ovarian cancer survivor groups, and then I met up with the amazing Frances Vanover, who's an ovarian cancer survivor, excuse me, in Guelph, and we both connected around the same thought that we had both been thinking that we'd love to start an ovarian cancer walk here, and then the two of us just finally decided that now's the time, and we started about 9 years ago, and it's been a fantastic opportunity to engage the community around something that we're both extremely passionate about.
That's amazing. And you said earlier, and I love this, that you not only have the passion for the community, but also you brought your team members as well and your lab members as well out to the walk. So I'm assuming they help you out with the walk in Guelph as well.
Oh yeah, excuse me, sorry. Yeah, they're invaluable. The grad students in the lab, they're obviously a huge part of the work that we're doing in the lab, and they're really committed and really passionate about the research they're doing, and they really jump at the chance to be part of this. And when I do go to talk to survivor groups, I bring the lab with me, and that has fostered such a really incredible connection with what they're doing in the lab to the real needs that are out there with the ovarian cancer patients. So, but being part of the walk has been a really important thing that's crystallized their connection with the importance of what they're working on.
right? It puts a face to what they're working on, hearing the stories of those people, and the walk is an amazing place for them to just meet a really large group of patients from across your area and to be able to hear their stories as well.
The energy at the walk is amazing, and driven by the Teal sisters, as we call them here. It's amazing to see the strength of the women and their families, the level of support that's there. It's so energizing. It's amazing.
And I would imagine, Jim, it's also very inspiring for your community to have you and your team there, knowing that you're dedicating your life's work to overcoming this disease. That's pretty inspirational.
The connection with the community has been amazing. We have a beautiful venue here with the University Arboretum. We walk through the trees, and it's a beautiful space. So we're really fortunate to have that. But the community has become really, this is an important event. The mayor of the city and a couple of politicians have come out every year since we started this to give opening remarks and to be part of the walk. And they actually will contact us and say, hey, remind us when the date of the walk is, because we really want to be part of it. So we've developed a great sense of community, and it's growing every year. We have more participation, in which we're really excited about. So we're really happy with what's going on and how we're being able to contribute.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jim, for sharing that with us. And again, just goes back to two people had a vision, and now you have this big walk in Guelph. That's a real sense of community and inspiration for all those affected by ovarian cancer in your area. So
the one thing, just to conclude, the one thing I always really make clear is I'm an ovarian cancer researcher. I've actually benefited from Ovarian Cancer Canada grant funding. My lab has received Ovarian Cancer Canada grant funding made possible by events such as the walk. So I always make clear, because people get, I think, donation fatigue, and sometimes there's skepticism around donating to organizations and not really knowing where the funds go. And I just make it clear, like, the funds that are raised at these events translates to actual, like, real life tangible outcomes. And I think that so important to recognize and acknowledge that the money that's being raised goes to the places where it needs to be. We've had grad student projects funded through this Ovarian Cancer Canada walk, funds that have been raised, and it's amazing, and I'm so grateful for that. It's really helped facilitate some of the really important discoveries that we're making, and it's directly as a result of the work that people are doing, helping facilitate these walks across the country. It's fantastic.
that's very powerful, Jim. Thank you for sharing that. And I know that's a question that I get asked at my walk as well, is where did the funds go? And to be able to have a researcher there, we have gynae oncologists that come to our walk, to have people that are there actually utilizing the funding to advance the cause of this disease, super powerful. So thanks for your commitment and everything you do for the Guelph Walk.
My pleasure, and thanks to everyone here that's working so hard to raise these funds.
Olivia, I am now going to turn it over to you, if you don't mind to turn your camera on.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. Olivia, you are also a co-chair. You also co-chair a walk. Tell us a little bit about why you became involved.
Yeah, so my story is kind of similar. I'm also an ovarian cancer. I'm a trainee, so I'm a graduate student. And so I really enjoyed working in the lab, and I kind of just wanted to do more. And my supervisor encouraged all of us to go to the walk, and had talked about how amazing of an event it was, and getting to have that patient connection and foster that community. And I think that's what drove me to send out an email and see, like, if there was any way I could help with the walk. And then it so happened to turn out there was only one other member on the Ottawa team, so I was thrown right into it, and it's been a lot of fun being the co-chair and, like, planning everything, and seeing all that hard work, like, finally show in the walk. And yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So tell us now, from your perspective, just how important it is to create a space of the Walk of Hope where people truly can go and build community while they're supporting this cause.
Yeah, for sure. So I think on both sides, it's super important. So like I mentioned, my supervisor has our entire lab go, and we are talking with the patients, and being able to have that connection makes such a difference. And I think that's something that the walk does really amazingly. Like last year, we had the team come up and hand out sunflowers to the Teal sisters. And I think being able to have that community and build that connection not only helps with the patients to kind of see a face behind the research, but also for the researchers to have they can answer any questions and kind of direct the research so that it is really with the patient in mind. And I think that makes such a difference having that community there.
Amazing. I love that we have two researchers in two different communities here that are so involved. I've seen that in action at different events where we have a research community meeting a patient community, and the inspiration and the passion that comes out of those two groups meeting is pretty awesome. So thanks for sharing that. So
Thank you.
now tell me, and I guess, why would somebody want to become involved in the Walk of Hope?
Yeah, so I think even just based off of my wanting to get help, I think showing up for the walk and participating is lots of fun. But I think when you're involved in every step of the way, and you see and you get a decision on the choices that are made and all that, and you always just want to make things better and better. And I think having that opportunity to be involved and then seeing it, all the hard work at the end, is so rewarding. Like the day of is definitely crazy, and you're running around trying to make sure everything is going well. But afterwards, just that, seeing that all together and having that community being built, and however much money is fundraised, like all of that really is so rewarding to be involved in that, and just kind of taking a step back and realizing that I had a hand in making that happen is really cool.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks all for all you do at the Ottawa Walk and your team as well coming out. I think that's amazing. I want to thank you all, Erin and Jim and Olivia, for sharing those experiences with us. As you can tell, each walk has a different feel and a different look, but at the heart of it all is the building of community and strength and inspiration. So thank you all for sharing. We are going to now turn back over to Maddie, and Maddie is going to share some exciting new things that are happening in the walk this year.
Yeah, thanks so much, Stephanie, and thanks everyone for sharing why you're involved in the walk. So I'm going to go through what's back and what's new in 2024 for our Walk of Hope. So to start off, we're going to go with what's back this year. So we are so happy that there are almost 30 locations returning this year across the country. And for those locations, the registration remains fully online as per the previous years, and it is free to register. Again, we have our team and individual leaderboards, which you can see on the main page of the website. So you can see the progress as for the national, or even you can see the progress regionally, or for your team, or for yourself. Once again, we have our VIPs, which are very important participants. But I do want to mention that all participants and fundraisers are VIPs in our eyes. Just in this sense, VIPs refer to the top 100 people who have raised the most money in the previous year. So these folks will have a VIP badge on their fundraising page. And of course, again, we have our Teal Sister shirts returning this year as free upon registration. And I've included a picture on this slide so you can see what the shirt will look like this year. So the only difference is that the order and delivery process is completely different. So this year, Teal Sisters will receive a redemption code in their email to order their complimentary shirt themselves. This way they get the size they want and they get it delivered to their preferred address. So all you Teal Sisters, keep an eye out on your inbox as we will be rolling this out soon and more info will come on that. So on the next slide, I'm going to move into what is new this year. So new this year, on top of the almost 30 locations that we have returning, we have 2 new walk locations, one in Sault Ste. Marie and one in Windsor, Ontario. I mentioned earlier how great it is to have these new locations, as we want to see the walk spread and we want its presence to grow. So we're really happy to have these locations on board. Last year, we had virtual walk locations for each province and territory. This year, we have consolidated this to be one national walk site for all of our virtual participants. Instead of walk kits, we have an OCC tech shirt that's pictured on the side there. This will be for those who raise over $250. Similarly to what I previously discussed, those who raise over $250 will receive a unique redemption code via email to order their complimentary shirt. And again, we will be sending those out soon and more info to come. So keep an eye on your inbox, everyone. As many of you may know, OCC, Ovarian Cancer Canada, has recently gone through a rebrand, which we are so excited about. So the walk brand remains the same for this year, but you'll probably see a bit of our brand sprinkled throughout the walk. As you can see in the shirt presented on the side, that's our new branding on the shirt. So if you do raise over $250, you will get a newly branded shirt. So be sure to strive for that. So you'll also notice on your participant center, which you can access once you're registered for the walk, there are new fundraising tools. By clicking downloadable resources to view all the participants center tools, you'll see a social media kit, which includes downloadable social media images, which you can post to your socials. You'll notice that all of these images are branded with the new OCC brand, so definitely be sure to check those out. And lastly, for the new updates, we have the addition of the Good Move app, which is brand new this year. So I'm going to explain that a bit further on the next slide to go a bit more in depth on what you have to look forward to. So on the next slide, Good Move is a Blackbot app that is set up for a Walk of Hope. So this is an app on your phone, so you can use the QR codes that you find on the slides to download on your Apple or Google Play Store, or you can just search it in your App Store. You will then log in using your walk credentials. So once logged in, you can see your current and past events. You can enter into the 2024 walk event, where you'll see buttons for fundraising, which you can click on, and that will give you the option to copy a fundraising link or copy a pre-made fundraising message. If you click on the donate button, it will take you to your fundraising page. When you scroll down on the main page, you can view your donors and thank them. By clicking the button to thank your donors, it will actually redirect you to your email app on your phone. So that makes it quick and easy to thank your donors that way. And furthermore, you can view the individual and team leaderboard straight on the app, as well as click in to see how other teams and other individuals are doing. You can also view your own page and see your personal fundraising progress, as well as update your personal page messaging, all within this app. So we're really, really excited about this app, and we encourage you to check it out. It does make fundraising for the walk even easier, so be sure to download the app using the QR code and reach out to us if you have any questions. But now I'm going to pass it back to Stephanie, who's going to introduce our next speakers.
Thanks, Maddie. I love the idea of the app. I am going to download it after this and check it out. Like you said, it'll make fundraising so much easier, and just to be able to thank people just right on your phone as to having to log in. So thank you for sharing that. I also love the new way you're doing the t-shirts, how efficient, and just saves inventory, storing inventory and those kind of things. So what an awesome way to be able to get my t-shirt mailed directly where I want it. So thank you for sharing those awesome updates. Now, I would like to introduce you all to two members of the Walk of Hope Committee in Saskatoon. That's my walk, Heidi and Elizabeth. They have been a part of the Walk of Hope in Saskatoon for many years. They have done some very, very creative and innovative fundraisers. So if you ladies want to turn your camera on, and just tell us a little bit about the team that you guys are involved in is Barbara's Earth Angels. So tell us a little bit about the meaning behind that team and why you have been involved for so long.
Well, thanks very much for including us in the webinar today. Barbara's Earth Angels, well, when our sister was diagnosed in the early 2000s with ovarian cancer, she counted on all of her friends and family for support, and she called all of us her Earth Angels right from the get-go. So she and her friend Kat McDonald went to a walk in Edmonton and came back so excited and energized, and they wanted to bring something here to Saskatchewan. And that's when she really got us involved in the actual team. That first year, well, and let me say, when she was diagnosed, we had no idea what ovarian cancer was. We didn't know how serious it was. We had no clue. And through OCC, our involvement with them and the Walk of Hope, we have really learned a ton of what ovarian cancer is about and the benefits of the Walk of Hope to that. So the first year we were voluntold to help, and we've continued since, partially because Barbara asked us to, and also because we've seen the changes that have come about in the organization and in the awareness. And we've met so many awesome women along the way and their families that it's important for us to keep working for the goal of let's just stop it. So
awesome. Thanks, Heidi. Or Elizabeth, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I just wanted to add the reason also that we continue to be involved is just the wonderful women and men. Jim has shown us that today, how many men are actually involved. We've met so many wonderful women along the way, either going on the ovarian cancer journey or just supporting women like we do. In addition to having our sister, Barbara, diagnosed and lose her battle. I also have a sister-in-law, Brenda, who is a survivor. And so over the years, we walk for her, whoever she may be.
Yeah. And I'd like to add as well, since Barbara was diagnosed in our small town of 800 people, we've had at least four women that we know of that have been diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and 2 are survivors and 2 lost their battles. And it's way more prevalent than we realize. And these women need support.
Amazing that your small community has you, and there's also another sister, Catherine, who's not here today. So there's 3 sisters. Amazing that your community has you to be able to connect them to the supports and resources of Ovarian Cancer Canada. So thank you for your commitment in that. I know, because I've attended some of them, that you guys have done some amazing fundraisers over the course of the years, some very unique and different ones. And just wanted you to tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, we kind of started, when we first started, we just basically asked people for donations. And we really want to stress, don't forget to do that. Ask your neighbors and ask your friends just for straight up donations. The first year after Barbara passed, we did an event called Celebration of Mothers, where we got a Lucille Ball impersonator in, and it was a whole evening. On the Mother's Day weekend, we had speakers, and some of the doctors from the cancer center were in attendance. Attendance was strong because our sister was well known in our community, and her enthusiasm touched so many people. So it was, an event like that, was very was well attended and was very successful. Since then, and we've got some ideas from some of our other people on our committee. We've had wine nights. Stephanie's had some successful wine nights where you donate for a donation of $30 or so, and including a bottle of wine, you get a donation receipt. get in for a draw for wine. Everybody, it's a good evening for everyone. We did lots of canteens. Our local community held something called the Taste of Cudworth, where they had different vendors, and we always had our tent there, Oma's Kitchen, with our German food, and that was always well attended.
Everybody comes,
yeah.
And that's the money.
Yeah. We've had trivia nights. Elizabeth's daughters organized a trivia night in Saskatoon, and that was a lot of fun. And anytime you get a bunch of people together for something like this, you have the opportunity to educate and just let people know a little bit more of why we're raising the money. Yeah.
We did some steak nights. Everybody knows the traditional steak night. We were fortunate to have a little cafe at a lake nearby us who was willing to join with us, and we had their facility for the evening, and they had a chef at that time who actually barbecued right there. So he was barbecuing, and you could fill your plate and then go choose your steak. And so it was a lot of fun, a lot of personal connection. So nothing wrong with the regular steak night, but we really found that night was well attended. You could sit outside on the patio, and just enjoy the evening. So that was really nice too. I wish we could do it again. That cafe has since closed, so unfortunately we can't do that. Early on as well, one of our nieces, again, we do have the family connection here, you'll see, but rely on friends and family. So our niece was very involved in a jewelry home business. And we had many jewelry parties where she was willing to donate profits. So women were getting something in exchange for a donation that was coming. And I think Jim had mentioned about fundraising fatigue, and that is a real thing, and it's difficult for people. But we do find that if somebody can also get something, they attend and they maybe bring a friend. So they get something as well. We began making gemstone bracelets and selling those, and that became very popular. We're wearing a couple of them today. It became popular because gemstones have meaning, and people were ordering gemstones based on the meaning and what meant something to them. It can be inexpensive to start a venture like that, or like us, you can get a little crazy and then you have a lot of stock on hand, but you have an opportunity to, again, reach out to people and have them share their stories. Coming soon, we are going to have a build your own bracelet, a BYOB night, where we are going to allow people to come into our home, choose their gemstones, choose what is perhaps their meaning to them. And again, as Heidi mentioned earlier, it gives the opportunity to share information about ovarian cancer, get the word out. And what we're going to do with that is also along the ideas of that wine night is with the cost that we're going to be charged, they will be getting, we'll make that donation on behalf of them, and they'll be able to get a tax receipt for that. So again, they'll come, they'll get an item, we'll have a good evening, and they will get a tax receipt. We also share the bracelets with other groups to help support them in their fundraising events. So we do believe in passing it along as well. So we do donate bracelets to other causes. I don't know if people have the ability to do that, but we just find it helps other groups as well. And things we haven't done yet that we've been thinking of is Canadian Tire does amazing barbecues. So I don't know if you guys know that, but you can get their barbecue and the supplies and stuff, and you go in there. Had a chat with somebody at a barbecue I just bought one from. They were making easy $1,500, $2,000 that day. PV Mart also does the same type of thing. And, in closing with the Canadian Tire portion, they do also have a program where if you go in with a letter, what you're fundraising for, they will give you a choice actually of some raffle items. So that is wonderful support to many causes. So our message kind of is don't be shy to just ask for donations, ask for something for a raffle. Take the letter, your contact information, and again, they may not call you back. Follow up with a call, even just one call. You don't want to harass people, but often we all know we put things on the back burner. So go ahead and just make that return. Ask. Have fun. Have fun with what you're doing. Enjoy it. If you're enjoying it, your other people will enjoy it too. And just wanted to mention that Good Move app. I think that's great. Gonna check that out as well. Just wanted to thank you guys for including us today as well, fundraising tips and tricks. I don't know if we gave any new information or not, but we really have a fun along the way. So thanks, Stephanie. Oh, you're on mute still.
You're on mute.
Oh, I did so good. I just wanted to say thank you both for sharing that. I have been the lucky recipient. I was at when they had the booth and they had Oma's Kitchen. My kids and I went and had some of the German food that they made that evening, and it was fabulous. I also have several of the bracelets. So thank you for all those unique tips and tricks. They did mention something as well, as don't be scared to ask. And if you're doing a raffle at your walk or a pick a prize or something like that, one of the people on our committee suggested, and she actually created letters and put them in envelopes, and she just gave everybody on the committee a few to keep in their car. So wherever they are, whatever business they're going into, if they're going for lunch or if they're going somewhere, just take one in, because you know what, you might not get anything, but you might. So thank you for sharing that. I also wanted to share, I do a lot of different fundraising as well. I'm trying something different next week. Actually in 2 weeks, I'm doing a sip and stretch. So a friend of mine is a yoga teacher, and I have a nice garden out here at the farm. So we're having a yoga night. So people are going to pay to come to the yoga night, which will be a donation. And then we're going to have some snacks and refreshments afterwards. So we're hoping to raise $1,000 on that night and have 25 people come out to the yoga night. So they're
Amazing.
really the sky is the limit on how you want to fundraise. So I also just wanted to say they do truly underestimate the amount of effort they do. So not only is their family involved in the fundraising, but maybe it's a little bit of that voluntold, but their family is always there at 7 a.m. on walk day as well to help us set up and make sure everything is ready for the day.
It's our pleasure, Stephanie.
It is. It's a small thing we can do to hopefully make a bigger impact.
Thank you. So now we've heard of lots of big fundraising ideas, and I know that sometimes, hey, that's overwhelming for people, and it's like, oh, so there are little things you can do as well. And where do I even start? So I wanted to just share a video. A friend of mine, she is an ovarian cancer survivor. She lives in Calgary. She also is a member of the Patient Partners in Research team, and she did a great video and just posted on Facebook. So all of her friends could see, and she asked for donations that way. And she's given us permission to share that video today. So we're going to have a look at her video.
Okay, Tansy. Hello, everybody. So I need to get going on my Ovarian Cancer Canada Walk of Hope fundraising. The walk is in the first Sunday of September, so it's going to come up really soon. So I thought I'd post an update video and give you some incentive to donate. So first things first, it's almost Stampede time here in Calgary. So for every donation of $75 or more, you can donate more if you want, from now until Sunday, July 14th, which is the end of Stampede, I'll put your name into a draw for some beaded earrings that I've made. So I have 3 pairs that I'll draw for, and the first pair, this is the big one. So there's these big beaded earrings. And they have a fingernail, they call it a fingernail post on the back, which are actually quite comfy, especially for these bigger beaded earrings. So that'll be the first place prize. Then I've got some of these drop style earrings that I made. You see those? And they're very cute. So those are the other ones. And then these ones are some more of like a stud. So it's just got a post on the back. They're just some cute little stud earrings. And of course, they're all with teal. So teal's the color for ovarian cancer. And I'll probably do the draw on July 15th after the Stampede wraps up. Yeah, so you all know that donating to Ovarian Cancer Canada is very personal to me. I'm quite involved with the organization in various capacities, and I'm very grateful for all that they do in Canada for research and support and all the great things that they do.
Thanks for sharing the video, Marianne. So as you can see, it's just as simple as if you're in any way creative or you have something or you want to provide some incentive for people to donate, that's a very unique way. And she just posted that video on her story. So thank you, Tiff, for allowing us to share that today. So I'm hoping some of you that are on the call today are now, you've heard it and you're in, and you're like, okay, how do I register? How do I get involved in the walk? So we're going to turn it back over to Hosna, who is going to walk us through the registration process.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephanie. So yeah, we just wanted to briefly also dedicate some time today to go over how to register and how to navigate the Walk of Hope website. So going on to the next slide, as Maddie mentioned, a lot of the series Walk of Hope will be very much consistent with last year. And as most of you may know, the Walk of Hope launched on Thursday, May 2nd, 2024. And then any donations so any donation over $20 will receive a tax receipt. And then, like Maddie mentioned, when you raise $250, walk participants will receive a free OCC branded shirt. And then the walk website is a great place to go if you want to learn more about how to register, donate, as well as view and support all of our different Walk of Hope locations. So I'm going to actually share my screen. I'm going to take over and I'm going to go run through some of the things that I just mentioned. Okay. So there we go. Can everyone see my screen? Okay. So right when you go into the Walk of Hope website, you'll see there's a few different options and ways you can register, but essentially they'll all lead to the same place. So whether you click here to register or you click on this button right here to register or this one, they all lead to the same registration process. And so very straightforward, and we'll run through that together as well. But when you scroll down, like I mentioned, there's a few different ways you can get involved. So you can register, you can donate, or you can join a team. And then when you scroll down, you'll see our fundraising goal and our thermometer. And this is a great place to come if you already know what team you would like to be a part of. So if you know who you'd like to be a part of or what team you want to join, then you will just kind of come here to search for the participant's name or their team. And then this will search throughout our entire website and give you the results that you're looking for. And at the bottom, we also have our national leaderboard. So this is another great place to come if you want to review all the different teams of participants. We also do have one of this for each of the different Walk of Hope locations. So scrolling back to the top, I'm going to kind of navigate through all the tabs. So here, this is a great tab to come into if you are interested in giving or donating directly to a loved one or your network. So again, you just search by the name, or you can search by the team and then click on search and you will automatically see the donate button. You can also give here directly to OCC, but I'll show you what I mean. So let's say I search up my name and I'm interested in donating to this individual. You just click on the donate now button and that's going to lead you directly to the donation page. So just throw in just fill in the information as you would like. And then at the bottom, click on process my donation and you're all set. And then let's say you are interested in registering or you would just like a quick overview of our Walk of Hope locations. This is a great place to come just to see an overview of all the different Walk of Hope locations we have available this year. So as you can see, we have quite a few different locations available. And then we also do have a virtual location available. So in the past, we've done virtual locations for a specific province or a city, but this year we've just done one bucketed virtual event. So if you're interested in potentially, running or doing the walk somewhere that's not located in here. So let's say the location that you're looking for is not here, then you can click on virtual and you can register through our virtual option as well. So again, gives you that flexibility to choose a location that is the closest to you. And then going back to the top, let's say you are now ready to register. So to register, very straightforward. You can come here and pick the location that you're interested in, or you can just choose the registration button at the top. So let's say I'm interested in registering for St. John's. You're going to click on the location that you're interested in. Again, you can search for that specific team that you're interested in. If there's no specific team, but you're interested in starting your own, then you will click on Start a Team. So here, you're going to click on that, and that's going to give you that 5-step process. So you're going to start by first searching, coming up with a team name. So I'm just going to go through it quickly with you. So I'm going to call it Test just for practice. We're going to go here. It's going to ask you a little bit about your registration type. And then, so I'm going to go with adult. Now, this is a great place to just kind of look at, because all the information that we share today is also in our registration. So again, there's no registration fee. And then here you can also, you see here it says $250. When you raise $250, you receive an exclusive OCC t-shirt. So all that information that we share today is also within our registration process. And then you're just going to click next. It's going to ask for your information, and then you're all set. You just get the chance to review what your response is, and then once you have the chance to go through the registration process, it will look something like this, and it's just going to ask you to review your information, and then you'll click on complete registration, or you can always register another participant. And then it's the same concept if you wanted to join or bring back a team. So if there's a team that you have participated in the past, or you're a team captain and you're looking to bring back your team, this is a great place to come. You're going to search up for your team. And then once you have written down the team name, you're going to click on search. And then the same process, you're going to run through the registration type, your information, review. And then if you are looking to make a donation today, it will also ask you to make a payment. But for the most part, all the processes are, all of the different registration types are very much same process. And then let's say you wanted to register as an individual, you don't really have a team in mind right now. You can also do that through clicking this button right here, and that's all going to lead you to the same registration flow, and it will guide you throughout each of the different steps. And then if you wanted to review more about the Walk of Hope, that specific location, all of that information is going to be under each of the specific location pages. And then that's a little bit about how to register, and happy to go over any of the questions if you have. And then if you wanted to learn more about the walk itself, so you can come here. There's a little bit about the walk. Again, feel free to register. All the registration buttons lead to the same place. And then frequent asked questions. So if you have any questions on how to navigate your participation center, this is a great place to come. It will give you all that detailed breakdown on how to start a team, to register a team. So all the information you need is here. But again, we're more than happy to help support your questions as well. And then the contact information, if you would like to email us, is right here. And then there's also different ways you can get involved if you're interested. So fundraising tips, becoming a volunteer, all of that you can find here. And then this is also where you can view your participation center. So if you wanted to view your participation center, make any changes, you can. This is a great place to come. We have a lot of different resources available right now. So if you wanted more tips and tricks on a way to promote your fundraiser, you can look at our tools set up here. And then again, going back to that frequent asked questions here, if you need a pledge form, that will be here. And your participation center is a great place to come if you want to edit your personal page or your team page, or if you are interested in contacting your network or thanking your donors, you could also do that through the participation center. And then any updates to your profile can be here. And then for emailing your network, you'll just come here, pick one of the different templates that we have available, and you're able to go in and thank your donors. That runs through most of it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and pass it down to Stephanie.
Yeah, thank Hasna for walking us through that. I registered. Usually I'm a procrastinator and registered last minute, but I registered already and it was a super easy process. I love the app as well. I know Kaylee put in the chat that it was super easy to thank her donors. So thanks for running us through that. And I do also want to confirm that Hasna and Maddie are excellent at answering any questions you have. I reach out to them fairly often with questions I have and always get an awesome, very quick response. So if you have any other questions about the walk, please do not hesitate to reach out to Hasna or Maddie, and they will for sure find you the answer for that. So that kind of concludes our session for today, but we do have some time. So I wonder if all of these speakers wouldn't mind turning on their cameras. And I know that we had one question, more of a logistical question in the chat. And Maddie, I think you were going to take that one on. It was just about how long are the walks? What are the lengths? What time do they start? And specific information on a walk. This one specifically was Burlington. So I'll pass that one over to you, Maddie.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for your question. So the Burlington Walk, you can find all the details for all the walk. Like Costa said, you log onto the site, you go under walk locations, and you select the region you're interested in. For Burlington specifically, there is a timeline up, so that starts around 9 a.m. With the walk itself starting at 10 a.m. But we are slowly working on uploading all the timelines onto the site. So if you do go on and you don't see the timeline yet for your location, it will definitely be there in the coming weeks. We are working on getting all of them updated. And when it comes to the walk lengths, most walks are approximately 5 kilometers. There are a few that do a halfway point where they do a 2.5 kilometer walk, if that's preference, but that's not all of them. And we'll try and get that information up on the site as well. We're hoping to have some maps up there if possible, but even more details can be found on the Walk Facebook group. So every location has a Walk Facebook group, and you can just click the link in that overall walk page that I mentioned under walk locations, and that Facebook group should have more details, especially leading up to walk day, that will give you exactly what you need. So it's coming. If it's not there, we're working as much as we can to get all that information on, but yeah, most are 5 kilometers, and the Burlington is up there now, but check out the Facebook page for the most up-to-date details on walk day.
Perfect. Thank you, Maddie. Does anybody else on the call have any thoughts or questions or anything they'd like to share? If you want to share a story or a fundraising tip, feel free to raise your hand and Marianne will unmute you and you can share with us. If anybody wants to share that's on the call. I also wanted to add that we saw the video created by Tiffany, and I wanted to share, we also saw her on the leaderboard when Hasna had it up very quickly. She, I think, was number 7 or 8 on the leaderboard. She was very shocked. She raised over $2,000 on her earring donation contest that she just ran. Elizabeth and Heidi?
You know, just with that earring donation, that was one thing that we did miss last year when we started with our bracelets. We did do a, what did we call it? A Barbara bracelet. A Barbara bracelet and a Brenda bracelet for my sister-in-law. So the Barbara had 2 teal beads, a special just for people that donated for $50 or more, or they could choose between the Barbara or the Brenda. And Brenda did have a teal and a pink for ovarian cancer as well. So we definitely agree that is an amazing way to get those donations up, pick an amount and make that draw. Love it. I love that she shared it via video.
And even if you're not creative, I have a garden. I have a very big garden. And so I did one year a big Thanksgiving basket. So that was what people got if they donated, they got an entry form to enter like a big basket of produce or whatever I happen to have. So again, there's really no end to the creativity or fundraising ideas. So if nobody else has any thoughts or any comments, that does bring us to the end of our session today. So I wanted to again thank all of the speakers for sharing your time and experiences with us. After listening to everybody's story, we're truly lucky to have all of the speakers who are committed to the walks and the locations that they are. It's all amazing experiences. And really thank you for bringing a sense of community and inspiration to your walks. And I hope that those of you on the call were inspired to join a walk if you haven't, or to ask people maybe to join your team if you don't have any team members yet. And look forward to all of you participating in the Ovarian Cancer Canada Walk of Hope on September the 8th. Now, I started off with housekeeping, and I'm going to end off with just a couple little housekeeping. For those of you that joined the call today, we would love to hear your feedback. So Marianne's going to pop a short survey, and I mean like 1 or 2 minutes in the chat. So if you don't mind to just take a minute to fill that out, it really helps us to shape these events for future to make sure we're getting the content that you want to hear about. And I also wanted to just take the opportunity to talk about 2 different support programs that we have at Ovarian Cancer Canada, where we are looking for volunteers. So Ov Dialogue is our online community. It is a virtual platform available to those affected by ovarian cancer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter where you are in the country. You can connect with others, you can ask questions, you can go for support. It's just a really great forum. And we have what we call community champions. So they go on the site on a regular basis just to check to make sure they're welcoming people, introducing themselves. So if you think you're at a place in your life where you want to give back and you might want to become a volunteer, this is one area where we are looking for volunteers. You can email Marianne or myself. She'll put our information in the chat function. And we have a peer-to-peer support program. So if those that are affected by ovarian cancer feel the need to speak with someone on the telephone who also is living with ovarian cancer, we have a team of trained volunteers across the country with different stages of life, different stages of diagnosis, who are willing to help out. So if you're interested in becoming a peer volunteer, we also have some training happening for that later this fall. So again, you can just let Marianne or myself know. And one more thing is we had 2 amazing researchers on the call today, and their research is super important. And from time to time, we get asked to share research studies with our community to help them out. So we have 2 that we'd like to share today. These studies are looking for patients to share experiences. One is shedding light on hereditary cancer syndromes, and the second one is equity and diversity in cancer genetics. So Marianne's going to try to put some information about those in the chat. And if not, we know who's on the call, so we'll email you out that information just so you have that if you have the time to participate and would like to. I know our researchers would be very grateful for that. So on behalf of all of us at Ovarian Cancer, again, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to hearing about all of the stories that you create on September the 8th at your own Walk of Hope. Bye.